Okay, good afternoon and evening. It's Sunday, September 21st here. And this is Miss Scarlet Faith coming to you from Inner Spiritual Style. And remember, we all have our own style and there is no wrong way as long as it's walking in the light. So I wanted to show you, if you ever think you want to work with a deck of cards, you don't have to stop at one. Once you get started, you can't stop. And Doreen has a few decks out that I haven't gotten that I am going to get, like the Indigos, because I love that one. I have a lot of Indigo tendencies as well as the Earth Angel, and I am a walk-in. And I'll give you my life story one day, just not today. And but once you get started with the cards, it's hard to stop because you go, oh, I could really use that deck. Oh, I could really use that deck. And what I really want to talk to you about today is divination. And a lot of people think that's of the devil. Being Southern, you know, I heard that a lot when I was growing up. It's, oh, the devil, you're going to hell. But, you know, I got over that. I learned to get over that. I grew out of that, I guess I should say. So we have all these cards. Now, what do I do with them? Well, if I do a reading for myself, or I have lots of friends I do readings for, and family, especially my granddaughter. She loves to get angel card readings, see what's going on with her and her friends and what the angels have to tell her, and she's really good at working with her crystals. But when I opened myself up, and over the years, I have 3 really awesome crystals that have came to me. I keep one on a gold chain, one on a silver chain, and this one's on some glass beads that I just love the color of. And this is the little male jamma that usually wants to work with me all the time. Now, you don't just pick up your crystal. You don't just start working, okay? Let's put this perfectly clear. Especially if you haven't opened yourself up and connected to a holy energy. First, you need to do, I don't care if you just light a candle and say a prayer and call the holy white light and an angel to you. That's fine when your crystal starts working. But anytime before you work with your crystals, anytime, you always call down the holy white light. You surround yourself. You forbid, and I mean forbid because that is your right in this world. This is your realm, not spirits. This is your realm. You're the one who has to say so here. You forbid any darkness, dark entities, dark thoughts, anything. Only the white light. You call your angels to you. If you're connected to any of your little spirit guides, like one of mine is my sister, who passed it 5 weeks, Miss Taffy. She's with me a lot. I have so many wonderful stories about, I didn't know who my spirit guide was until about 6 years ago. I did a spirit writing and she came through. And I mean, there was one time I went with some friends to a Renaissance festival and they walked off and did everything they wanted to do because I'm not a big drinker. And they wanted to go, you know, get some beer and have some turkey legs. So I was walking around feeling kind of lonely, you know, oh, poor, pity me. And I kicked the dirt and looked down, and there was a copper rose. How cool is that? Just laying at my feet. There was nobody around, had dropped it, and I walk around looking at the ground. My dad used to fuss me all the time about that. So, you know, I was looking at a craft booth thinking I was going to walk over there, and I hit it. I looked down and there was a copper rose, and I knew it was from a spirit guide, and so now I know it was my sister. She's with me a lot. Okay, so once you've learned to protect yourself, okay, put your white light around you, then you can start working with your stones. Because let me tell you, if you don't, and you start putting some spiritual energy out there, and you hadn't protected yourself, and you don't have your white light and your spirit guides around you, there's going to be all kinds of things that won't come see what you up to. Let me tell you, there's a lot of different kind of energy out there that you might not want around you. That you think, oh, I'm bad, there ain't nothing going. Yeah, it'll mess with you big time. Okay? Now, another thing I recommend is you get crystal books. Start learning about your crystals. Read about them. And when you see a crystal and you go, oh my God, that is just beautiful. I love that. And you feel a connection to it. You might want to see about trying to find that crystal, because that may be a good energy crystal to you. And I have a crystal I don't ever bring out. I keep put up on my prayer plate, and nobody touches it because that is my crystal. And you'll find out a lot of people get really funny about their crystals, because that one was given to me by a shaman. I went to a powwow, and I don't just pick up a crystal and walk home with it. That's what I'm trying to impart here. I will ask them. And, if you got a crystal on a chain, and my granddaughter, she's a teenager, she wanted a crystal, and we were going to find her a good crystal. And so we go to the rock shop down in Charleston, and I'm like, here, hold your hand out. And, we're doing this. She's like, Mama, I'm not going to do that here in the store. And I'm like, yes, we are. Because you don't want to just pick up a crystal and think it's your crystal. I mean, you might feel that connection, that's fine. But, these crystals are, you may think I'm crazy, and a lot of people do. Well, that's okay. I'm never boring. They are a living energy force. And if you study anything in Native American, they teach you that everything has its own living force. And not the best, because I'm such a kidder and I rush in and rush out. But I do try to respect the way people are about sacred objects. And I learn from that. And so my crystals, when I go out and buy my crystals, I always ask them. And I'll go, do you want to go home with me? So I was standing at this powwow, and this girl had a bunch of crystals, and asking that. And there's the old shaman standing in the corner. And he's like, I know what you're doing. I feel like a kid got caught stealing. I turned 10 shades of red. And he said, let me see that. And he took my crystal, the girl I was working with, because it was going around in circles saying they wanted to go home with me. And he blessed it to the four winds. And let me tell you, every time I hold that crystal, that is just a connection to that crystal that there's not enough money in the world somebody could buy that off of me. Just not. Because it's my crystal. And it's one that protects me. So there's a lot of times that little things happen to make things special. So that's what I want you to always be aware of. Even sometimes if you're kicking a rock and it just looks like it rolls back to you. Okay? Pick it up. And see, on mine, I just took a little wire and glued it around the top of the crystal, and it said it was fine to do that, and I put it on the chain. And, I love Pinterest. So, and on Pinterest, they have all kinds of ways to bead up a crystal so that it looks even a lot better than this. But anyway, this is the one that goes around with me. Now, do you have to get fancy? Do you have to spend a lot of money? No, you don't. Like I said, you can go out and kick a rock in the dirt, and if it rolls back to you, a lot of times it's wanting to be your rock. So, you can do rocks. You go to, Divination's been in my family for generations. My great-grandmother would tie a washer to a string and hold it over the woman's belly and tell her she's going to have a boy or a girl. So I know there's some magic going on way back in my family. We never found out how she learned that. And so that's something that we've lost in our heritage that we feel sorry about. But we go on. When I get back home, I'll ask her. But you don't have to spend a lot of money. And you can do crystals, rocks, stones, washers. Heck, you can pick up a pencil. Once you start connecting to your energy, you just hold them. And they go around in circles. And let me show you something to do with your cards and divination that I always do. You take them out of the box. You're going to have them on there. And I even let my crystals pick out the cards. I lay out all the cards. That's why I ain't got to worry about shuffling them or anything. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Anyway. And so you lay them out. And then my crystal will be over the deck. Okay. Now it's going to start going counterclockwise. See that? Now what it's doing is unwinding the energy. And you can use crystals on your body this way as well. Especially over all your chakras. Your crystals love to work on you. And you can even get a friend to hold them over you. You can hold them over your friends, especially if you have bad headaches, really sore shoulders. Now you're going to see, I'm not moving my arm. This little mammer jammer's doing his thing. Now it's going to slow down. And then when it starts going clockwise, see how it's just doing backwards, forwards. Now when it starts doing clockwise, then you want it to wait till it gets to big circles. We're getting there. And when it gets to big circles, that's when you're going to lay your cards out. Okay? And I always, if I'm doing a reading for a person, I always have them hold their hands out, their right hand, and I'll ask to hold the crystal over there, and I'll ask the crystal if it wants to do a reading for them. Because they may have something going on that they might not, you know, the energies just don't want to give them a message at this time. You always, always, always ask. Ask, ask, ask. Okay, do you have to get really fancy? Do you have to have pendulum boards? Do you have to have... No. You just work with it. And I like getting with other people that work with crystals and see what they do. And there's a lot of people that just do things so different than the way I do them, and I love it. And, you know, you'd be surprised what you learn and you take away. Like, there's one girl, she carried her crystal everywhere, and I was thinking, I have to keep mine at home in my room, around all my other crystals, and, you know, where I have my room is sanctified, and I don't have any dark energy coming in. No, you get her, like, this is the one that wants to go everywhere with me. Everywhere. And, you know, and, she would take it and go shopping. Pick out bottled water. Show it over water. Is this a good water to get? Tell her no. Instead, she picked out one that would be a good water. Yeah, I mean, they would tell you. I was thinking of what do I want to name? Because first I asked, I do beading, and I was like, should I really keep working on just doing my beading in my Etsy store? Nope. And I said, should I do beading and my spirituality? Didn't go there. And I said, should I just really work on my spirituality? Went right there. Okay. And another thing you do with divination is you can make, there are divination boards out there. And they're not Ouija boards. Now, I don't like Ouija boards. Don't work with Ouija boards. And there are divination and there are pendulum boards out there. A lot of times a pendulum board will have a stone on it because stones to stone really connect, and you get some strong energy flowing through your board. You don't have to do that. There's some really good YouTube videos on how to make a pendulum board or how to draw one. Me, you know what I do? I just get a piece of paper. I want to know what to name it. So, I draw my circle, okay? Then I have all the names around here, and I even have down here none of these. So if I didn't have a name that they were happy with, that they thought I should go with, it would go right there. So I held it over this, and it goes straight to inner spiritual style. It wants everybody to know, no matter what your style is, it's not wrong, and you can bring it out and you can work with it. And all I did was I just held it over here, and I said, this is the name. Please pick a name. And see, I just hold it, and it starts going. And you got to give it a minute, because it's picking up the energy. Inner spiritual style. I even showed my mom. I was like, look how I picked the name. It goes right to it. See? Because here is none of these. Our inner style. Southernly hallowed. It's Scarlet Faith, Earth Angel. So no, it won't. It liked the inner spiritual style. I thought of anything and pick none of these, and I'd have to keep going until I got one. So divination and pendulum work, to me, if you're a very grounded person, is an awesome way to connect to spirit. And it is a way to show people that it's not hard to connect. And it may take you a while to get your crystal to move because you're connecting to your energy. I mean, I've been doing this now for over 10 years. And it's okay. Just do it. You know, and if you need any help, if you have any questions, I'm here. Just look me up. Follow me. Like me, whatever you got to do on those social pages, because I'm Facebook and Pinterest and YouTube and Google+. So there you go. And always remember, you got your inner spiritual style. You got it on the inside. find ways to bring it out to the outside. Makes life interesting. Love y'all. See you next time. Bye-bye.